You know, I was out for a little walk this morning and I thought of something I might want to bring up, and that is the junk fees and the new kind of baggage restrictions that they're using on the budget airlines in Southeast Asia, these regional carriers. And I thought I had my bags dialed in 2 years ago when I hit retirement age at 65, and I did extensive research to find the largest backpack that would fit under the seat as a personal item for my electronics and my laptop and charging brick and my pillow and that sort of thing. And then I had a rollaway bag that I've used many years over the course of many years that is carry-on size. It will fit in an overhead bin, no problem. And my plan was to not check any luggage so I don't have to wait at the carousels. But in the course of the last 2 years, they've completely changed the requirements now, and this strategy is no longer going to work. So now I'm having to rethink the whole thing. So what's the problem? Here's the problem. They have imposed a 7-kilogram weight limit, and which is impossible for anybody to achieve unless you're only carrying, like one change of clothes and a couple pairs of underwear and some socks and toiletries. You can keep it under 7 grams or 7 kilograms, but otherwise this is almost impossible. So if you want to go up to 15 kilograms, then you have to pay an extra $50. My personal item, it's alone with the laptop and all the electronics in it, because I'm carrying some cameras and a camera and some video gear. That bag weighs 6.89 kilograms. And then in the United States, if you're carrying a CPAP like I am, that goes on board for free. But the Asian carriers don't look at it that way. The only way you can carry that bag on for free is if you're going to use it on the plane, and then you have to jump through an inordinate number of hoops, doctor's letters, and all kinds of things in order to get permission to use the CPAP on the plane. So that's not feasible. That's not going to work. And so now they're going to count it as a bag, as an extra bag, and they're going to weigh it in your 7-kilogram allowance. So that puts me over 8 kilograms. Or over the 7 kilograms. And so now I have to check my rollaway carry-on bag. That's just the way it is. So, that's the rules. And I looked into this rather extensively. I was going to fly Vietjet from Hanoi straight down to Denpasar and Bali, but if you're an ounce overweight, you got to pay. And so even if I increase my allowance to 15 kilograms, it's going to be almost impossible to keep the weight under. And because I've got the CPAP, they're counting that as a personal item. I'm going to have to check the other bag anyway. So, so now I'm having to rethink this whole strategy. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is buying a bigger carry-on bag and just going and checking it just automatically. The other thing that kind of irks me, it's what Biden called the junk fees. They nail you for an extra $50 because you want 15 kilograms on the carry-on. And then you got to check the bag. Well, that's another $114 to check the bag. And if you want to eat a meal, they add that on. So they're tacking on all these fees. And so the moral of that story is that you had better double check with some of the mainline carriers, like for my case, it's Vietnam Airlines. And Vietnam Airlines has more lenient baggage restrictions. And by the time you compare the economy budget airline and their junk fees with the regional carrier, it turns out I'm actually better off to fly Vietnam Air, even though I've got to go through Saigon to do it. So, it's the best laid plans of mice and men again. It seems like every time I turn around, there's one more hurdle. Now, I'm not really complaining, but this has opened up a whole new can of worms, because I now have a bag that will hold about 45 liters. It's within the domestic dimensions. That's the other thing. You better check the dimensions for the budget airlines overseas, because they have more stringent requirements than they do in the United States. And so I'm thinking about buying new bags, but if I go from my 45-liter carry-on to a checked bag, all of the retailers in the Pacific Northwest that I've been to, and I've been to many of them, I mean, this is an extensive search trying to find what I'm looking for, they go from the carry-on size automatically up to about 80 liters, which is cavernous interior of the bag. I can't fill that. I'm not carrying that much stuff. So I want a 60-liter bag, which isn't that much bigger, but it's a little bit bigger. I'm going to check the bag every time anyway. I won't have to, there's items that I've been having to kind of throw out and leave behind that I really want to take with me, so I'll be able to take those with me. But do you think I can find a 60-liter roll-away bag that's durable enough to drag through Southeast Asia for the next 2 years? I mean, it's been very difficult. And I'll tell you what I think I'm going to end up doing is going with the Travelpro bags, which are the ones that you see all the flight crews using. They're almost always black, and they're durable, and they have an extremely good reputation, and the parts are replaceable. Almost all of the other bags I've looked at are using steel rivets to hold the wheels on and that sort of thing, and the Travelpro bags use screws that you can actually take the part off and replace it with a new part if it breaks. So that's very important. And the other thing is the adventure bags that are out there at some of the stores, outdoor stores here in the Pacific Northwest, are quite expensive. They're over $300 each. One of them was $495, and that's way beyond my budget. And so the other good thing is that the Travelpro bags are actually more reasonable. They're cheaper. So, yeah. So this is what I'm into now. And I just thought I would mention this, bring it up real quick. Quick little video for you. And we'll talk to you later. Take care.